Hi, my name's Dr. Jim from Baggio Chiropractic, and today we're going to continue our discussions on how to identify and unplug stresses on the human body that interfere with your health and the proper functioning of your nervous system. And specifically, today's talk is going to be on something that is known as grounding or earthing. First of all, just to refresh, the human nervous system is a vast array of miles and miles of nerves that literally go to every organ, to every part of the human body. The function of these nerves is just like the electrical system in your house. Nothing in your house can work without electricity, and your body cannot work without the wiring known as your nervous system. Literally, you wouldn't be able to raise your hand, you can't digest food, your immune system can't fight a foreign invader, you can't go to the bathroom without properly functioning nervous system. So, with that in mind, you have to keep in mind that with the nervous system, there are many stresses in today's world that start to interfere with the normal functioning of that nervous system. This is not a good thing because, again, nerves go everywhere in your body, control the function of everything. It is the master system that controls everything else. You want to have 100% nerve supply going to all your internal organs all the time so those internal organs can work at optimum efficiency. But again, in today's world, there are many types of stresses that interfere with the normal functioning of your nervous system. There are physical stresses, the accumulation over time of all the slips, trips, falls, fender benders, all those different types of things. There's the accumulation of chemical stresses on the body. Big ones today are coming primarily from our diet, the fluids we drink, medications we may be taking. And then lastly, there is the accumulation of the day-to-day grind of stress. All of these different stresses, the physical, the chemical, the emotional, they accumulate over time and they create interferences in the proper functioning of your nervous system, which over time will start to cause a decline in your health. Now, what we're trying to do is we're trying to show you that if you come in to a chiropractor for chiropractic care, what we're going to do is we're going to improve the functioning of your nervous system by what we do with what is known as an adjustment. It'll improve the nerve supply to the organs. However, this is very similar to the electrical system in your house. And what I mean by that is, let's say you have a fuse that's blown. You have too many electrical devices working at one time and it overloads the system and the circuit breaker breaks. And you just go up to the circuit breaker box and you reset the circuit breaker, but you don't unplug anything. Everything is still plugged in and turned on. By the time you hit that circuit breaker and take a step out of the room, the circuit breaker is going to blow again because there are too many stresses plugged into that electrical system, and the circuit breaker, as a precaution, is going to blow. This is the same with the human body. We get all these different stresses coming from all these different areas, be they physical, be they chemical, be they emotional. And eventually they overload our electrical system and the fuse is going to blow. And in this case, what that is the spine misaligns and it creates pressure on the nerve. Now, just like a circuit breaker, this is actually a defense mechanism of the body because the stress is getting too high on the nervous system and it needs a release. So the spine will misalign, avoiding a potentially bigger problem, like let's say a heart arrhythmia or you have a heart attack. But the long-term consequence is, yes, now the spine is misaligned, but this is putting pressure on nerves that go to internal organs, interfering with the normal nerve supply to internal organs, which over time is going to cause a problem. So again, before I give somebody an adjustment, I also want to start to know about you, about the person that I'm taking care of, and what type of stresses are going on in your life that we can start to unplug. Because if I give you an adjustment, if I reset the vertebrae, take some of the pressure off the nerve, but you still have all those stresses plugged in, the adjustment's not going to last that long. So again, just as important as aligning the spine, getting the pressure off the nerves so that we can get 100% nerve supply to the internal organs, we also have to make sure that we're starting to unplug some of these stresses. So the stress that we're going to talk about today is again something called earthing or grounding. This is relatively new work within the last dozen years, but it's really exciting. It's gaining a lot of momentum in the scientific community, and the best part about it, it's free, it's simple, and it works. All right, what you need to understand is that all living things are electrical systems. And this is not some new age hippie hoodoo. This is hardcore science, starting with Einstein, and then the chaos theory, quantum mechanics, have all shown that living things at a microscopic level is just a swirling pattern of energy going at a certain speed, a certain amplitude, and a certain frequency. The human body is a swirling electrical field of energy. And the human body is designed to have a charge, an electrical charge to it that is slightly negative. This also happens to be the exact same electrical charge as the planet Earth. However, in today's world, if you look around, everybody is wearing shoes. This is what we all do, and these shoes today, instead of being made of leather, they're made from rubber soles, thick soles. We live in homes, even if it's on a ranch home, a single level home, it's still built above the ground. In other words, human beings are never connected, never grounded to the earth. Bare feet, bare skin on the planet Earth. And what the science has shown is that by being disconnected from the earth all the time, the human body, which is supposed to have a slightly negative charge to it, starts to take on positive charges. These would also be known as free radicals in the body, which create a lot of different types of problems. And especially with all the ever-increasing electrical devices that we own and we are around, the cell phone towers, all these different types of things, they greatly increase the charge or change the charge of the human body from slightly negative, which it is supposed to be, to overwhelmingly positive. Now, the human body is supposed to have this negative charge, and if day in, day out, the charge of the human body is more on the positive side, this is not a healthy environment for the body to function. Hence, stress on the body, stress on the nervous system, causing that nervous system not to function correctly. This is a stress that we can unplug actually pretty easy. As I said, the human body has an electrical charge to it that is slightly negative, the same as the planet Earth. Here is how simple this is. What all the research is showing, and the results are overwhelming, is that all we need to do is to reconnect with the planet Earth by getting our bare skin, especially our feet, on the ground. Not necessarily on the cement or on the floor, but on the grass. Especially, even better, if the grass is slightly moistened. It becomes a better conductor. And if you get the chance to get by water in a lake or especially the ocean, because of all the salts in the ocean, increases the conductivity, and what literally happens is the positive charges that we've accumulated do not leave our body, but the negative charges from the planet Earth re-enter our body and balance the human body back to the charge it's supposed to be. Now, this is so simple. If you pay attention, you can almost feel a slight tingling of the feet when you stand on the planet Earth. And there are now devices that you can, products that you can purchase to keep you grounded all the time. There are literally bed sheets, blankets, footwear, pads that you can stand on that will balance out the energy of the human body. And the biggest place to do this is the bedroom. Your bed is probably put up against a wall, and when the electrician comes during the construction of a home, they usually at about waist high will drill holes through the studs and then put the electrical cables through the walls. And when you lay down at night, your head is at about the same level as the electrical wiring running through the walls, bathing your body in electromagnetic fields, changing the charge of your body to positive charges for 6 to 8 hours every night. And then you wonder why you're waking up and you can't get awake, you got headaches, you're not feeling good. This is tremendously interfering with the normal functioning of your body, especially your nervous system. You now have less than 100% normal functioning to your nervous system that supplies all your internal organs. So simply by making it a habit to get barefoot on Mother Earth, and then especially during the wintertime, investing in one of these products such as the grounded sheets, which literally simply just plug into the ground on your outlet. And it does have to be obviously a grounded outlet, a 3-pronged outlet, and you just simply plug the device into the 3rd prong, the single hole, which is the ground. It grounds the product, be it a foot pad or be it the sheets, and then for 6 to 8 hours every night, you are grounding your body, returning your body to a negative charge the way it's supposed to be, allowing your body to function normally, taking or unplugging stress from the nervous system. Now, some of the things that are starting to show up from people grounding themselves, a big one is a dramatic reduction in inflammation. And we've talked about inflammation in a previous video, but chronic inflammation throughout the human body is at the root cause of every major disease that you do not want to have. And when your body is not of the proper electrical charge, inflammation is created. That's just one thing, but by having the body at the proper electrical charge, it reduces strain, stress on the body that leads to a lot of other problems. And as one example, and I'm going to come up here, this is actually pictures of human blood cells. And what you're going to notice on this side right here is you'll notice that those blood cells are clumping together. Okay? They're kind of bunched up, they're kind of clumped. And then after 40 minutes of grounding, bare feet on a grounded pad or on Mother Earth, those blood cells change to this over here. And what you're going to notice is it looks a lot cleaner, the clumping is nowhere near the same, and it's somewhat thinned out. So literally, just with 40 minutes of grounding, it's thinned the blood. How beneficial would that be versus taking rat poison known as warfarin, a blood thinner? So anyways, that concludes today's talk. And again, you can get more information on grounding just by doing a Google search for it. You can also get this book, Earthing, and it is by a man called Clint Ober, who is the discoverer of this earthing or grounding. And you can also go to earthing.com to get these products I'm talking about, such as the grounded sheets, the grounded mats, and so forth. So please, don't blow this off. Take it seriously. This is something that is a very easy stress to unplug from your nervous system and get you healthier fast. All right, I hope this was helpful, and we'll talk to you next time.